my name is Erica, and it is time for my very first book haul. My birthday was at the beginning of June, and now that all the books that I received and ordered have come in, I thought it would be fun to kind of go over what I got. So the first book is technically not something that I ordered specifically for my birthday, but I actually belong to Book of the Month Club, which is a subscription where once a month you get to pick from 5 new releases, and they have pretty good selection. And because I have been a member for over a year, I get a free add-on for my birthday. And so I picked a book that is by an author that I recently really liked, a book by her. I just finished the audiobook for Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I gave it 5 stars. I thought it was really good, and it was one of those books where I was kind of against reading it because it was so popular. It was like, well, everyone loves this, so I'm not going to read it. But I went ahead and got The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid for my birthday. I have heard some things about this book. I'm pretty sure that Raylene on Books Unbound podcast talked about this maybe a month or so ago. And obviously this was really big on BookTube, I think, a couple years ago when it first came out. But it is about, I believe, a kind of retired actress, and she sits down for an interview with this young journalist, and they talk about some of her love interests throughout the years. And it's supposed to be really interesting. I think there's a little touch of LGBTQ in here from what I've heard. So I'm excited about this. Again, this is one that I never really wanted to read because everyone hyped it up so much, and I thought for sure it wouldn't be as good as everyone said. But after loving Daisy Jones and the Six, I decided to go ahead and give it a try. The next book is a book that I really haven't seen on BookTube. It's one that I kind of have had an eye on for a while, and one of my friends at grad school highly recommended it to me and Andrew. And that is The Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett. And this is actually part of a trilogy. And again, I don't know a super big amount about this, but it is set in the 1100s or 12th century. And I believe it is about the building of a church and how it kind of impacts the community where this church is being built. And I want to say that the subsequent novels after this one are about like through the next few centuries, but I could be wrong. I'm excited to read about it. I love historical fiction, and I think I've maybe read one other book set in the 1100s, so this should be pretty fun. My next book is by an author that I'm trying to read more of. I have read about 4 books by him now, and I have enjoyed them very much. And so this is Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. I have read Coraline, and I've also really liked the movie for Coraline. I have read The Ocean at the End of the Lane, which was okay. It hasn't really stuck with me like some of the other ones have, but I still think it was beautiful writing. I really enjoyed The Graveyard Book, which is probably my favorite by him that wasn't like some kind of retelling. And then I have also read Norse mythology recently, like a couple months ago, and I really enjoyed that. So I'm excited to read more by him. I think the next one I'll probably get is Stardust, but Neverwhere, I believe, is supposed to be about some kind of like underground world in London, something to do with like kind of the underbelly. And I'm just realizing that I don't know a lot about these books. I've just kind of picked them based on who knows. But this is an author that I really enjoy, so I think I'm gonna like this one a lot. And it's pretty short, so I should be able to read this pretty quickly. And the opposite of a short book is my last birthday book, and that is The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. This book has been going around a lot on BookTube, so I'm sure everyone has heard of it. It is a big boy. I want to say that it is over 800 pages. Yes, it's about 800 pages, which doesn't scare me a whole lot. I have never really been scared of big books. I just have to make sure that when I read them, kind of alternate them with shorter books, so I don't get too bored. But I really don't know anything about this book. It just looked really cool, and everyone that has read it has really enjoyed it. I don't think I've heard of anyone that's given it less than 4 stars. So this is going to be my next fantasy read. Also, a really nice thing about this is, unlike most fantasy books that are part of like a long series, this is standalone, and I don't think there's any intention of having any sequels or anything like that. So this is kind of a one and done experience, which is exciting because I have a lot of fantasy series that I want to read, but I keep putting them off because I don't want to commit to 3, 4, 5 books. So even though this is the size of 3 books, it is the only one. And those are the books that I got for my birthday. I am currently reading Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I'm trying to participate in Lauren in the Books, Pride and Prejudice. No, that's not how you pronounce that. Pride and Prejudice. Wow, that's hard to say. But I've got about 100 pages left of Pride and Prejudice, which I read in high school, but I am finding out that I remember absolutely nothing about it. And then I will be reading Longbourn by Jo Baker, which is supposed to be kind of Pride and Prejudice from the perspective of the Help. I hear it's kind of like a Downton Abbey-esque take. I'm reading that because I am one of her patrons, and that is the book that they selected for the June book club. So, and that's another short one, so that should be easy. I'm kind of thinking about, so I have an anthology of Jane Austen, and it's all 7 of her novels in one bind up. And since I'm reading Pride and Prejudice for June, there will be 6 left, and I'm toying with the idea of just reading a Jane Austen novel 1 a month for the rest of the year, and then I would have read all of her stuff by the end of December. I think that'd be kind of a fun mini challenge to give myself. And since I've had that book for probably a decade now, it'd be a good thing to just go ahead and read it. So, yeah, I guess that's it for now. I am going to be doing a mid-year wrap-up at the end of June, and so I'm looking forward to doing that in the near future. That's it for now.